When Giorgia Meloni's Brothers of Italy party won the largest vote share in September 2022, it stirred concerns about a right resurgence in southern Europe. Portrayed initially as a signal of fascism's revival, Meloni's administration, however, has veered off the expected path. 18 months into her tenure, instead of clashing with the European Union or radical shifts in Italy's political landscape, Meloni has shown an unexpected alignment with European norms. But what does this mean for her right wing agenda? Has Meloni been co opted by Europe's political establishment, or is she navigating a more nuanced path that could redefine Italy's role within the EU? We will tell you all about it, but before that, if you're a fan of non corporate funded free news and analysis, you've landed on the right YouTube channel. Okay, let's begin. In September 2022, Giorgia Meloni's right wing Brothers of Italy party won the most votes, raising concerns about a right wing surge in southern Europe. It was initially discarded as a sign of fascism's resurgence, but with allies like Matteo Salvini, Meloni seemed poised for nationalist governance. Yet, 18 months into her term, her administration's actions have diverged from early populist expectations. Instead of clashing with the European Union, European courts, or Italy's political structures, Meloni has integrated into the established system. She has allied with Ursula von der Leyen, EU Commission President, supported Ukraine against Russia, and moderated her stance on Mediterranean migration. This raises questions about Meloni's leadership. Is she assimilating into Europe's political mainstream, or is she strategically redefining Italy's role within the EU? Considering Italy's history of political instability and frequent government changes post World War II, Meloni's navigation of complex political dynamics reflects broader constraints that limit radical changes. Italy's constitution grants the president considerable power in legislative processes and prime minister appointments, often leading to technocratic governments during political turmoil. These governments typically focus on EU integration and economic policies aligned with Brussels rather than nationalist agendas. This has historically moderated the ambitions of leaders like Meloni. Currently, Meloni is restricted not only by Italy's complex political system, but also by the dynamics of European governance. EU regulations influence everything from migration to fiscal policies, making deviations risky and potentially isolating. This requires Meloni to adopt a pragmatic approach, balancing her nationalist promises with the realities of governing in interconnected Europe. As Italy's first female prime minister, Meloni's challenge is to navigate these complexities without abandoning her core principles. This balance between nationalist intentions and practical governance will define her legacy and the potential future of nationalistic politics within the EU. Meloni has shown skill in managing these pressures, securing concessions, and influencing EU policy, transitioning from a potential agitator to a statesman or a stateswoman. Meloni's diplomacy is evident in her successful negotiation with Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban, facilitating a landmark agreement that not only secured EU funding for Ukraine, but also resolved financial withholdings to Hungary. This move, coupled with her influence in brokering a contentious EU migration compact, showcases her ability to mediate among diverse political factions, including persuading Germany to modify migrant rights language, a testament to her growing influence within the EU. Critically, Meloni's actions reflect a departure from the fiery rhetoric often associated with the right wing. By withdrawing Italy from China's Belt and Road Initiative, she garnered bipartisan approval from American policymakers, enhancing her international standing. Her approach contrasts sharply with that of her coalition partner Matteo Salvini, whose confrontational style ultimately led to his political decline. Unlike Salvini, Meloni has adopted a more disciplined strategy, focusing on stringent measures against illegal immigration while simultaneously managing Italy's demographic challenges through increased legal migration quotas. Meloni's pragmatism is further highlighted by her response to Italy's demographic crisis. The nation faces a declining birth rate, which has necessitated a re-evaluation of her nationalist agenda. Her government's introduction of incentives aimed at boosting fertility rates, such as financial aid for families and extended parental leave, mirrors Hungary's pro-natalist policies, albeit with mixed effectiveness. The question remains whether such financial incentives can significantly alter birth rates without broader cultural shifts. Moreover, Meloni's constitutional reforms propose a transformation of the Italian political system to enhance stability and responsiveness. By advocating for a system where the winning party secures a majority of parliamentary seats and the prime minister is directly elected, Meloni aims to reduce political fragmentation and empower elected officials to implement their agendas more efficiently. To sum it all up, Meloni's tenure illustrates a sophisticated blend of nationalism and pragmatism, positioning her as a pivotal figure in European politics. Her ability to maneuver through domestic challenges and her impactful engagements on the EU stage reflect a leader who is reshaping Italy's role in Europe, striving for stability in a nation known for its political volatility. As she continues to address Italy's pressing issues, including demographic declines and immigration, her legacy will likely hinge on her capacity to meld ideological commitments with pragmatic governance.